What's going on, YouTube? You guys are tuned into another Q-Pill reaction. Let's get a dose of this shit. Now, there's been this great proliferation of women spawning across social media, making videos about the demands and requirements that men must meet in order to date them. And despite the fact that these women have limited to no bargaining power, they continue to sell themselves to their highest bidder. I refer to this group of women as the I deserve delusion reserve. And these are the groups of women who, relative to their mating value, continue to declare that they deserve a certain type of man that they just don't qualify for. They just don't have the mate value to attract and retain. And I stumbled across this audition tape that left such an impression on me that I had to allow her to become a member of the I Deserve Delusion Reserve. Who's the woman, you ask? A single mother of 1, 2, 3 kids. We're off to an excellent start. From the moment that I realized that she was a single mother of 3 kids, really I didn't need to hear the demands or requirements, or as her video says, the non-negotiables that you must meet as a guy in order to date her. I already knew that she was a member by virtue of the fact that she was a single mother of 3 kids. She was it. That's it. Welcome. Welcome to the I Deserve Delusion Reserve, lady. But let's take a look at the video and look at her non-negotiables that a man must meet in order to date her, a single mother of 3 kids.
These are the requirements that you need to have in order to date me, a single mom of 3 kids. Number 1 is that you need to be making at least $130K a year. And you need to have at least 2 side hustles.
We're already off to a wonderful start. The number 1 non-negotiable that you must meet as a man to date this high-profile, extremely overweight, bubble-faced mother of 3 kids that are kids to another man's, not even yours, and we don't even know if she has all 3 by the same guy. I'm willing to bet there's probably at least 2 baby fathers, but let's not do that. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she has 3 kids by 1 man. First criterion that you must meet, the non-negotiable criterion, meaning you can't make 129.5K a year or you're disqualified from having her on your arm as your woman, is that you must make 130K a year. Yes, that's right. You must be a salaried employee, some prestigious occupation holder, doctor, lawyer, CEO, sales marketer manager, business manager. You must make 130K. Oh, and you must have at least 2 side hustles. So you must sell drugs and trade on the side, because it's probably what she's used to. Because I'm almost willing to bet that her children's father doesn't meet this criterion at all. Yet she still reproduced with him. If she has multiple baby fathers, I'm pretty sure the other ones didn't meet this criterion either, yet she still reproduced with him. Now, I will say you have to be at a pretty low point in life to get online and see a woman like this make a video saying you have to make 130K a year to date her, and you go, you know what, I'd go for that. I'd settle for that. Single mom of 3 kids, no problem. It's now or never. I don't have much else to live for. My high-paying job doesn't satisfy me in the ways that I want to be satisfied. I need to maximize my satisfaction in life. Let me go after this single mother of 3 kids. I'm with it. I'm down. Let's do it.
If you cannot make 130K or more, then you are out of my fucking league. How do you expect to give me money for my kids if you only make 50K a year?
How do you expect to give her money for her kids if you only make 50K a year? Right, because it's not like their father or fathers should be giving her money for her kids. It's not like they should be on child support if she's not married to them and they're not in the kids' lives. It's up to you to provision your fruits of labor, allocate your resources that you earned on your high intellect, your education, your years and years of hard work and study, dedication and discipline. It's up to you. You have to pay for her kids. not her baby's fathers, who should be paying child support at the very least if she's asking for an 130K man a year. And we can't just overlook the fact that 130K a year is a guy in the 90th percentile. It's a top 10% man. It's a top 10% earner in all tax brackets around the world. And that's what she requests. That's a requirement. That's a non-negotiable. Yeah, sure responsibility. You have to come into her life as a man who makes 130K a year and financially support her 3 children that aren't yours when her baby father or fathers are nowhere to be found and aren't held to the standard, apparently. That makes sense.
Second is I don't date men that are younger than me because for obvious reasons. So if you are 26 and over, then you qualify. 26 to 35 is the age limit. Okay, I feel like 35 is pushing it because they look old as fuck already. So I'm 26. I'm a baby.
Thank God she threw that in there. If you're younger than me, you don't qualify anyway. But I can't imagine a man under 26 who would want to date a single mother of 3 kids. That's not his. So that's kind of self-eliminating in itself. Can't imagine any man other than the incel who's never had any form of love in his life other than his mother who would look at a Latina, overweight, single mother of 3 and think, yeah, that's a viable option. That's the best I can do. Even though my prefrontal cortex hasn't completely developed yet and I still have a whole life ahead of me. I have a lot of things I want to do and accomplish, and who knows, I might get to the point where I can attract a 23-year-old Latina woman who's a virgin and has no kids at all and who's only had one boyfriend and she didn't give it up to him. But all you age 26 to 35 fellas out there, this is free game. This is your opportunity right here, especially if you have nothing going for yourself. Oh wait, you got to make 130K a year and have 2 side hustles. Well, I mean, you traders out there and you SoundCloud rappers, you know, this if you can somehow accrue 130K a year between the amount of money that you scam, you know, the CDs you sell on the block, the amount of drugs you sell, here's a woman right here for you. Because let's face it, your chances at attracting a woman who's actually worth a fuck and has some value still left in her and some fecundity that serves to your advantage, your chances are pretty low as well. So you guys would be a match made in heaven. So you guys might want to take this woman into consideration. You might want to hurry up before you turn 36.
You have to have at least 3 cars under your name. Your second car has to have 8 seats because I have 3 kids. So I want them to be comfortable whenever we go with you on a trip or something. You want me to come with you, I'm gonna bring my kids, and you need to have enough space for my kids. So that's why I require you to have an SUV and a vehicle of your own if you're gonna be dating me.
You need to have 3 cars and the second one needs to have 8 seats, because if you are going to take her on vacation, her kids are coming and they need to be comfortable in the back seat. They need at least 2 seats themselves. Now, what's interesting about this is she looks Mexican, and if we know anything about Mexicans is that 1 car is more than enough for a family of 11 to 12 Mexicans. They can stack in there comfortably. So she's just being greedy at this point. I have no idea why you need to have 3 cars and the second one, only the second one, needs to have 8 seats. Why can't the first one that I have for myself have 8 seats? What if I just want to drive a minivan as a single desirable guy who makes 130K a year? What if I want to drive an Aston Martin minivan or some shit? G-Wagon XL. You know? But you guys are seeing why this woman was immediately approved to be in my I deserve delusion reserve. Immediate approval. This woman right here is breaking records. She's going to be one of my most valued members. I don't think I've ever stumbled across a woman with demands this high for what she doesn't bring to the table. This is truly a record-setting audition tape. I fell in love with her demands, her non-negotiables, and thought, that woman needs to be on the team. That woman needs to be a member of the I Deserve Delusion Reserve. Get her in effective immediately. Somebody get this woman's contact information. I need her a part of the club immediately. A single mother of 3 kids with these non-negotiables to where she requires a man who makes 130K a year, a top 10% earner in the world, 90th percentile, who has 2 side hustles on top of the fact that he earns 130K a year, needs 2 cars and then a third, and then have 1 house and be closing in on a second crib that has 6 rooms, and think that this is the type of guy she deserves. She's setting records. But then you also have to wonder though, does her baby father have a crib? Is he closing in on his second? And you have to wonder, how old are these kids? We didn't ask, how old are these kids? Because if these kids are 3, 2, and 4 months, then the conversation just got bleaker. Because I can't imagine in what world where she just finished fucking somebody within the past year and having a baby by him, that any man who makes $130K a year with 3 cars, the second one having 8 seats, and who's about to have 2 cribs would want this woman. I'm going to tell her at the next I Deserve Delusion Reserve meeting that her best bet is probably to go on one of those sugar daddy websites and see if she can find a sugar daddy between the ages of 26 and 35 who has all of these things, who may be able to give her what she's seeking. That's going to be her best bet. Can't imagine there's too many sugar daddies out there between the ages of 26 and 35 who meets all of these non-negotiables, but her best bet is still probably applying on a sugar daddy website and seeing just what options pop up. You never know. You never know.
Another requirement is that you have to have a property under your name, and you have to be looking into getting your second property. Have to get a home that has 6 rooms, because...
Wait, and what are the genders of her kids? Because why does each kid need their own room, especially if they're grade school age? They can't share rooms, can't share beds, bunk beds. If I make $130,000 a year and I have 2 side hustles and I have 1 crib and I close in on my second crib and it has 6 rooms, I'm pretty sure that the rooms are large enough to accommodate 3 grade school age children. I'm almost certain that the rooms will be large enough to accommodate all of those kids in one room. Why do they each need their own room? This is one of the greatest audition tapes for the I Deserve Delusion Reserve that we have ever received here at the I Deserve Delusion Reserve. I don't know if I'm ever going to have another applicant that makes a video that tops this one. I just don't see it.
If you cannot meet those requirements, then you're not the fucking one. The last requirement is that it has to be pink. If it's not pink, no. Pink and brown go together. Pink and brown, like what? Duvalin, you know?
So that's our newest member of the I Deserve Delusion Reserve. Pink and brown, Duvalin, you know? I'll keep that in mind as the $130K a year earner with 2 side hustles who's been on my own my entire life, did everything the way that I want to, have demonstrated excellence, discipline, integrity across domains. That the fruits of my labor and my resource allocation and provision is now in jeopardy because of a woman like this on the internet. And let me just remind you guys, these are the type of women that your mothers should warn you about. And if you don't have a mother who could warn you about this type of woman, then there should be an innate modulator that bottlenecks your desire for women like this. There should be. If there's not, then you're pretty low on the mating value totem pole, and it's probably best to just save yourself the headache of dealing with a woman like this altogether, or any women who are part of the I Deserve Delusion Reserve, because those women are just going to drive you to the brink of self-deletion anyway. But it's always interesting when we get new members like this, new applicants who have these fascinating audition tapes where they have these extremely unreasonably high expectations and demands that men who are exponentially higher in mate value must meet in order to date them, as if they're the ones who are going to change this man's life that he's already created a dream for himself on his own work ethic, on his own competence, on his own charisma, on his own intelligence and intellect. There's nothing more admirable than being a guy like that and investing into a woman like this and risking losing it all at the behest of her delusion and entitlement. But again, this is something to consider if you're a man like that and you have never had women in your life. You could provide us with the insight of what it's like to deal with one of these women so that we are just further reaffirmed for why we should avoid these women. I'll catch you guys on the next dosage. Over and out.